how to be excellent in. And the key word is purpose. Why do you want to be excellent? There must be a reason why you want to be excellent. And for almost all of us, we live for others. So whatever your purpose is, it is to make somebody's life better, to make the world a better place. And being excellent is a choice. You have a choice to want to be excellent or not. And the other thing about being an excellent woman is that it is a present continuous tense. You keep being it. You need to strive to be more every day. It is not the state of perfection that you attain. Every day you want to do better than you did the day before. Yes, so it is a continuous process for us. And you want to be exceptionally good or outstanding in your field of endeavor. It could be in the field of your career. It could be relationships. And when we talk about relationships, there are several of them. The most important one, of course, as Christian women, is your relationship with God. And then your relationship with self. It is one of the relationships that we have ignored a lot, but we need to have a relationship with ourselves. And then from then on, we can give the best of ourselves to the world. The third relationship you should or probably put on your list if you ever want to be married is the relationship with your spouse, or if you are married. And then you can talk about any of the other, like being a father, being a daughter, being a sister, being a parent. So all these relationships are places you can aim to be excellent at. You can be excellent in your career. It is one of the most important places that you should aim to be excellent at. And career doesn't have to be those stereotypes like being a doctor or being a lawyer. Even if you are a market woman and that is the work that you do, you should be able to strive to be the best or one of the best in that field of endeavor. You can one other field. In fact, there are two and they are so closely related. Sometimes it's difficult for me to tell those fields apart. Money and time. You can choose.
Money and right?
Yes, they are so intimately related. They just flow into each other. So one of the very important fields of endeavor that every woman should aim to be excellent at is in the field of money. And time. And these are a few of the examples in your health, in your spiritual walk. So there are many areas that the list goes on and on. This is just a bird's eye view to give you an idea of the fields we can talk about.
That is awesome, but let me chip this in. March is also Pastor's Wife Appreciation Month. So kindly reach out to your pastor's wife or your lady pastor, send her a text, appreciate them for the good job that they are doing. More grace to you, women of God. God bless you for all that you do. So, Doctor, is the excellent woman perfect?
No, of course not. The excellent woman is not perfect. I believe I have chosen to be an excellent woman, and every day I'm growing and becoming better, but I'm by no means perfect. We make mistakes. We have bad breaks. We make wrong choices. We go down wrong alleys, and we have to make U-turns and come back onto the path we have chosen. So we are not perfect, but the key is that anytime you make a mistake, you are able to recognize it and then make amends and get back on track. And really, the reason why sometimes we are not perfect or we make mistakes is because you didn't know better at the time when you make those choices. And one of the key things to be when you strive to be an excellent woman is to keep learning and growing. So every day you know better than you did before. And then there will come a time when you realize that you made a mistake because now you know better than you did 5 years ago or 2 years ago. So we are not perfect, but by virtue of knowledge and continuous learning, we become better every day than we were before.
That's awesome. How does one stay organized and efficient as an excellent woman? I mean, with all these, the spiritual aspects, the job, money here and there, how organized should we be?
Thank you. This is one field that you cannot afford not to be excellent in, and it doesn't matter the kind of work you do, the role you play, whether you are married, whether you have children or not. There is so much demand on our time, and I remember there was a time I'll tell God that, God, I need 36 hours in a day. But it doesn't
24 is not enough.
Not enough. It will never be enough for some of us. So one of the things you can do, and that is why...
Is it because of the job that you do? Or
it's because of everything else that you have to do as a woman, that you have to fit into a day. So some of the 3 of the top currencies we have in life are time, money, and relationships. And these 3 are intimately related, but particularly with time and money. So one of the things that I have done and continue to do that has really helped me is to have this dexterity of balancing time and money. So for example, for me, I know how to do every kind of housework. I mean, I've even been a househelp before, so there's nothing I cannot do. Yes, I've been a househelp before, but now I don't do much housework. I'll probably say I do like 30 or 40% because I have somebody who lives with me and I'm paying her to do housework for me, so that I would have time to do some of the other things that only Rosemont Abuaji can do. If I come home at the end of the day, I want to spend quality time with my children and then hopefully in the future with my husband. So I need somebody to do those things that I don't have to do.
I'm very sure your husband is listening right now.
I pray in Jesus' name that he finds me. That I have time to spend with my children and with my spouse, and so if you want to be a woman of excellence, or you are on that path of excellence, you have to learn how to probably make a little more money and then use some of the money to pay somebody so that the person buys you time. So you use time to get money, and then you also use money to get time. And one of the other examples, I have a PA, I got him just last year. And traditionally, doctors are not known to use PAs, but Alex has been amazing. He saved me a lot of time. And one of the things he does for me is to drive me to work. And I drive like 2 hours to get to work every morning. And as he's driving, I catch up on my WhatsApp that I haven't responded from 24 hours before. I'm able to call back people, like relationships. My father has called. I've not been able to have time to talk to him. I call him back. I'm able to catch up on work. And there are a lot of things that I do in the time that he's driving me. And if he wasn't driving me, I wouldn't have had the time.
And it keeps you organized.
Yes. And sometimes I don't even do anything on the drive. I just sit down and close my eyes and declutter my mind, because as you seek to be excellent, every day you have like 1,000,001 things going through your mind, and every once in a while you just need to take a break and sit down and catch up with yourself and reorganize your thoughts. And as you strive to be an excellent woman, you may need to think through the way you do some of your things and restructure them. Just yesterday, I went to the market, the kind of market where you buy toast and jelly. And Alex was kind enough to drive me. But when I was coming back, I'm like, Alex, I think I'm not going to go to the market anymore. And he asked why. I'm like, if I spend 2 hours buying jelly and toast, and I have a nanny who can do that for me, why don't I let her do it? So I spent that 2 hours sitting behind a computer, looking at the MRI of a sick child and giving the doctor a better result or report so that he can do better for that child. So there's this interplay between your time and your options. So when you have money and you can pay somebody to buy you time, you do that. And that is one of the ways you can keep yourself organized. You can't do it all by yourself. Ask for help, and if people offer you help, accept it. Sometimes we have excellent spouses or good spouses. They will offer to help us. Let them help you. Sometimes they will tell you that you've had enough. Take a break, rest so that I can take over. Let them help you.
Go for spa dates.
All that. Very, very important.
There's a reward in labor, so are there benefits in excellence as well?
Of course, Afiba, there are. For one, when you go to bed at night, at least for me, I sleep well and I don't have any if, what ifs and buts and what would have been, because I know that I stepped out in my day and I tried to do my best, whether in terms of taking care of a sick child or how I relate to my workers. In every sphere, every day I try to do the best I can, so I go to bed without regrets. And I think that when you try to do the best you can in whatever field, everybody else is happy. At least the good ones are happy with you. And there is perfect harmony. And there's no greater joy than knowing that you went to work today and just taking 5 extra minutes to talk to your secretary because she looks a little sad than she normally would look. And that 5 minutes alone will go a long way to change her whole day. And it really does make a difference if you spend the few little minutes to be good at the things that you have told yourself you want to be good at, and the benefits are immense. Sometimes you may never get to know how you have touched somebody's life, but every day you do it anyway, knowing that you are here to do your best. I remember one time I scanned a patient and she was with her husband, and the conversation went on, and apparently I was just telling her about one of her husband's greatest concerns, and I didn't know about it, and I was advising her, and the man was so happy. He was like, thank you for talking to my wife. And my job is a doctor, not a counselor, but going the extra mile to bring the smile to the faces of your clients, it's part of being excellent. And the rewards, they go beyond money.
That's awesome. Can you tell us 1 or 2 things that the excellent woman shouldn't do? I mean, today is all about the excellent woman, so you will hear the excellent. It's part of the question. So,
thank you. So,
I'm sure there are 1 or 2 things that we should stay away from.
As excellent women, one of the things that we are likely to get caught up in is beating ourselves up about our mistakes and our failings. And sometimes you look back at the things that have happened in your life, and it is so hard for you to forgive yourself and move on. You think you moved on, but some way, somehow, you keep living in the past, and how could I have made this mistake? Please don't beat yourself up. Please learn to forgive yourself. Don't punish yourself for the things you did when you didn't know better. Just thank God that you know better. Thank God that you identified that you made a mistake. In some cases, thank God that you made a U-turn and you have started life over. And then just move on. One of the things you also shouldn't do is to compare yourself with others. It does not matter your station in life. You would always find somebody who is better than you and somebody that you are better than. If you look too far ahead, you think that you are not doing well enough. But and learn to run your own race and celebrate your own successes. For you, maybe buying your own car, it's a really big milestone, but for somebody, she grew up, she was born with 5 cars in her house, so driving a car is not new to her, but for you it is really it is a big deal, and you should celebrate yourself, pat yourself on the back. Girl, you are doing well. I mean, celebrate the small successes. Don't compare with yourself with other people. If you compare yourself with those who are less fortunate or who are doing less than you are doing, you may be tempted to feel superior, or you start feeling proud. At every stage, there's somebody better or worse than you. Just follow your course, ask God for help, and keep running your race.
I always tell myself I run my own race.
You are in competition with nobody.
Not at all. Is there an area we should seek for excellence? Well, I mean, you mentioned, I don't know whether the part that you mentioned, money, having time, is
yes, so those are examples. So for example, we are here at Sunny, we are Christian women, and so one of the things that should be on an excellent list is your relationship with God. I mean, in Him we live and move and have our being. He is the center of our world. The world is so messed up now, and It's so complicated. It is only Jesus who can simplify your life for you, really. And so that should be the center of your being, your relationship with God and with Christ, and then your relationship with yourself. You should be able to love yourself. And how much you love people, how well you treat people is really a direct reflection of the kind of relationship you have with yourself and how you love yourself. So try and cultivate that relationship with yourself. Take good care of yourself. One other field is in the field of health. You need to take good care of your health. Yes. Exercise, eat well, don't put things out, pollute your body, don't drink too much, don't smoke. All these things are areas we can excel at in your relationships. One key one I haven't mentioned is with your spouse. It's one of the things that can make a big difference in your life. It can actually make or unmake you. Have come that close, and I know that is 110% true. And so your relationship with your spouse should be something you should work on. It is no compromise. Anything and everything you can do to keep that spark burning, to keep that relationship at the forefront, you should do it. You are a career woman, you go out there, you change the world. But the moment you step home, you are a wife, and your husband and your children are your priority. And so we need to learn all these different hats that we wear. We need to learn
to balance.
Yes, balance everything. When it is time for work, give it your all. When it is time to be a wife, be your best. Let your husband go out there and be looking forward to coming home to his wife, not to a radiologist, not to a lawyer, not to a judge, not to anybody but his wife. And that is one of the things that will bring you the most rewards. So these are a few of the areas. Being a parent, you should aim at being excellent at it. It is difficult, and there are lots of new things to learn. And so you have to go online, you have to talk to other parents. In whatever field you are trying to be excellent at, you need to speak to people who have gone ahead of you. Learn from their mistakes. You don't need to make the mistakes they made all over again. Learn from their mistakes and avoid the mistakes others have made. So there's a lot to learn, a lot to achieve. And depending on the kind of life you live, you either eliminate some of the things I've mentioned, or you add on other things. But this is just to give you an idea of the things that should be on your list. And one other thing, Afiba, is that, for example, if I have my relationship with God, my career, being a wife, if I have these things on my list, I will not necessarily be as good in all the three. I may be very good at my career compared to being a wife. But then, of course, you keep learning to be better.
Yeah, that is right. Let's take a break here. When we return, the phone line will be open. And then if you have any question, you can send it in. I will try and go to our Facebook Live too, and then check if they are messages, and then run them out with you.
One yogurt is a probiotic yogurt brand which comes in different flavors, with wheat or without wheat, sweetened or sugar-free, and Greek yogurts. They are available in the following outlets: ShopRite, Melcom, Marina Mall, Maxmart, The Farmers Market, Citidia, Boxer Mall, Spa, Option Smart, Shell Shops, Shop and Save, and Tesbury. Contact us on 05460 44523 for bulk purchases and enquiries. One Yogo Yogurt. It's a family affair.
Welcome to Eileen Mother Care. At Eileen Mother Care, we do retail and wholesale of only special and beautiful products and clothing for expectant mothers and children from 0 to 18 years. We sell baby essentials like changing bag, baby carrier, changing mat, Macintosh, baby wrapper, feeding bottles, nappy liner, and more. And to you expectant mothers, avoid the stress. Bring your hospital list for baby and mama. For all your sanitary pad, disinfectant, toiletries, take-home dresses, all in one special pack at an amazingly affordable price. Locate Eileen Mother Care at Okanshi Accra Central near the GCB Bank by Angels, or at Makola adjacent the Old White Chapel. at Bobulushi 5, New Market 45C. Call Eileen Mother Care on 056-134-9044, 0266-236670, 056-134-9044, 027-918-9593. May your newfound happiness make your heart bloom with joy. Eileen Mother Care.
Welcome back to Every Woman Touch Show. Today we are discussing the excellent woman. The phone number to call is 0540-130-684. 0540-130-684. If you want to be a pro in cookery to cook healthy and satisfactory food, enroll in EKGS Culinary Institute and you will learn professional ways of baking and cooking different kinds of dishes. Kindly call them on 0244-224-059 or 0264-224059, 0264-224059. Flora tissues are portable, disposable, and always on hand when you need it. They come in the form of disposable handkerchiefs, facial tissue, toilet roll, multi-purpose towels, and even napkins. They play an important role in personal, home, office, and commercial hygiene, minimizing the spread of infection. The disposable handkerchief fits in your pocket or bag, always ready to come to the rescue, made with utmost care. So choose wisely, choose Flora Tissue. To be a distributor, kindly call on 0243-033-033, 0243-033-033. Doc on excellent woman. Okay, so there's a lot to talk about, but then is there anything, should we prepare for excellence?
Yes, thank you. So we mentioned a few things on the list that we can be excellent at, and sometimes the things that we want to be excellent at are in the future. For example, you sing in the choir and you've never had a chance to lead solo before. It is not the day that your choir master calls you to come to the front to sing solo that you practice how to do it. So you have an aim, you have a target.
I like this example.
Yes, and you work towards it. So the day your choir master makes the mistake the way your choir master makes, the day he makes a mistake to call you, Rosemond, come and sing solo, the whole church can't be normal. Because like you prepared and and one other example for those of us who are single, every single woman out there, listen to me. You want to be married. You don't wait till the day you are married that you learn how to be a wife. You prepare for it. I remember many years ago when I was as little as 12 years, I started praying to God and I told God that of all the things I want to be in life, I want to be a good wife. I want to be one of the best wives there has ever been. So teach me how to be a wife. And even now I'm a grown-up woman. I still pray that prayer because there's still so much to learn and there's so much to do as I wait for that lucky man to come along. So being single does not mean you are just sitting there. You are learning how to take care of a man, how to talk to a man, how to manage children when they come. You don't wait till that day when you are a mother before you start learning how to be a mom. So for whatever field you are hoping to get to, as you wait for that time to come, you start preparing for it. You can talk to people who have been there. You make notes. You keep preparing for it until the day shows up. So you can prepare for excellence.
The phone number again is 0540-130-684, 0540-130-684. I have a few messages on our Facebook page. From Michael Dansa-Appiah, he says, that's my husband, by virtue of knowledge and continuous learning, we become better. Okay, and then he also said that you use time to get money and you use money to get time. I'm sure it was the time that you were talking about money. And then Susie Hammond said, beating up ourselves up, learn to forgive ourselves. I think it was when you were talking about, And then Rejoice, thank you. And then Susie also mentioned we shouldn't compare ourselves to ourselves. And then be yourself at all times from Giftisian. Ask God for strength and grace to match up. Doc, I'm very sure they are saying something good there. It's like they are really listening to us. So what of spiritual qualities?
Okay, so
I mean, we've spoken a lot about the physical ones.
So I think
the spiritual
that
aspects.
in our earlier discussion, I mentioned that if there has to be one thing on your list, it has to be
God.
That relationship with God. And when it comes to God, there's no way around it, And everything that God says in His Word, it's just what it is. So every day you go to God and ask Him to help you to be who He has created you to be, to help you to love others. I mean, God's commandment can just be summed up in one sentence: love God, love yourself, and love others. So you love God the best way you can, you love yourself, and you love others. And in loving others, that is really broad. You can even start from the house of God. You serve in church, you help to usher people. When you find somebody in need, you don't wait for the person to, you can see that this person is hungry. Sometimes you don't need for somebody to ask
come to you first.
And one of the attributes, I think, even with the Proverbs 31 woman, there was a part where the Bible mentions that you give to the needy, you feed the poor. And so everything in God's word, the good thing about the Bible is that there's no law against anything that God has asked us to do. And so by just walking right with God and being God's child and following His example, you can't be anything but excellent if you are a child of God. And anytime I meet anybody who is a child of God and is sloppy at his work, I feel really sad, because the commission God has given us, there's no room in it for anything less than excellent. And I think that our God is a God of excellence, and He says that whatever we ask Him, He will give us. And one of the prayers you can pray is to keep asking God to teach you how to be excellent, whatever failed. David said that God, He teaches my hands to war and my fingers to fight. David was a warrior king, and that was his occupation, to fight. And so for each and every one of us, no matter what field we are in, it is God. Yes, we can pray to God and ask Him to teach us to be excellent. The book of Daniel talked about Daniel having an excellent spirit. It was God that put that spirit of excellence in him. And so as we walk closely with God, even if we don't like it, that spirit of excellence comes upon us. And I think that the Spirit of God will just make everything right.
Yeah. There's this stereotype that excellent women are dull. They don't know what's up. I don't know on that.
I don't know about that. I hope to God I'm not dull, because I don't want to be dull. And I think that it is really, it depends on the context. Because somebody would say that Rosemont Abaji is dull, and another person would say otherwise. So it really depends on exposure and experience and a whole lot. But I bet to differ. Excellent women are not dull. Whatever we do it and do it well. If we are wives, we are amazing. We want our husbands. If we are doctors, we make sure our patients are well cared for. If we are selling wache, we sell it with grace. And the Bible says in Proverbs 22:29, it's one of the key scriptures for a discussion like this. Have you seen a man who excels in his work? He will stand before kings and not mere men. When you are excellent, you cannot be hidden. You can be in a village we have never heard of, if you are excellent in a particular field, some way, somehow, somebody would find you. You would never be obscure. You would never be unknown. If you are excellent, somebody would find you. Last year, I chanced on this video on Facebook where a gentleman has scored 80s in SSCE, and there was this whole crew who went to his village somewhere in Ghana, I have no idea of, to find him on his father's cocoa farm, to interview him. And that is what...
So was it that he didn't get admission, or
I think the
means wasn't there?
The means wasn't there because his dad was just a poor cocoa farmer. And you know, the thing about excellence is that it is observable. People would see it. You don't have to tell people I'm excellent. Your work, the quality of your work or your output shows. So this boy, I'm not sure he went to the radio station to tell them that I'm this and I got 80s and my father can take me to uni. Somebody found him and brought him to the limelight. And I'm very sure that because of that, he had people to help him to go to uni. I came from this place of obscurity. I mean, where I come from, you'll be amazed. But some way, somehow, probably God gave me something that made people to notice me. And even when I didn't have the means to go to school, pay my fees, somebody noticed. Yes, somebody noticed.
Nothing stopped your sign.
And here I am today. So one of the things about excellence is that it does not make you obscure. You will be found out and you cannot be hidden. The Bible says that we are the light of the world, a city set on a hill, and we should not hide. We cannot be hidden.
Not at all.
The only thing we can do is to shine and to keep shining. And every day is what we need to do is to strive to be better than we were the day before, because there's always room for improvement.
Is that where perseverance comes in?
Of course, you know, sometimes in your quest to be excellent, you may have a target, and sometimes it takes you a little longer. Sometimes the climb is more steeper than you anticipated. Sometimes there are bad breaks and unforeseen circumstances that deter you or make the journey a little more difficult. But that does not mean that you cannot get your destination. With a little bit of patience, a little more time, a little more prayer, and a little more depending on God, you will get to your destination. Let nothing stop you.
Nothing will stop your shine.
Yeah.
Maintaining good relations with family and co-workers. Let's stick to co-workers. I mean, you've spoken about family, but I want you to touch on co-workers.
Thank you very much. So we had mentioned that it's a kind of relationship, and it's one of the things that you should aim to be excellent at. You know, human beings can make or unmake you, and no matter how well you try, for example, you can be very excellent at your career, be a very good doctor, excel at the work you do, but if you are not pleasant to your co-workers, people would respect you for the work you do, but they would not like you. And sometimes you may need people to clothe you and to cover you, because like I mentioned, we are all not perfect. Sometimes we may drop a ball, and you may never know you dropped a ball. You need somebody to call your attention to the fact that Dr. Boadi, I think you didn't see this. And so if you are not pleasant to your co-worker, or you don't treat them as equal human beings, when you drop the ball, people will leave the ball to drop until everybody finds out that you have dropped
That's
the
so
ball.
unpleasant.
Yes, but it happens. Especially when you are very unpleasant and you do it for so long, everybody gets tired of you. And so for each and every one of us, it is important that we maintain good relationships at work. It doesn't matter your hierarchy in the work ladder, you know, be nice to everybody, those at the top, those below. Sometimes it is the seemingly unimportant people like the janitors and the cleaners who would catch the ball that you drop. And so don't despise anybody. We are all children of God, and we are all playing equally significant roles. Be nice to people. People are one of the most important currencies you can have in life. Time, money, people.
They are the best assets.
They are the best assets. And you cannot change anyone for the other. You need all these.
It's getting more interesting. What advice will you give to that woman who is out there listening and is challenged? I mean, with all that you've said, you know.
Thank you. So
to be an excellent woman.
Yeah, to the woman out there listening to us today, it doesn't matter your station in life and what your list of excellence looks like. And it doesn't matter how far behind you are or how close you are to your mark. Every day, wake up, go out there and make a difference. And know that excellence is not a state of arrival. There is never an arrival. Everywhere you get to, there is a next step. So keep moving ahead. And sometimes this advice goes to those of us who probably have not attained certain things we wish would be on our list. I.e., for example, somebody wished that at this age she would be married or would be a mother, and it hasn't happened for her yet. And sometimes we get discouraged. The good thing is that it is not one thing that defines us. Marriage doesn't define you. Being a mother doesn't define you. And so if what you are waiting for has not happened, that should not stop you from being excellent with the other areas of your life. Keep shining, keep preparing for what has not happened yet, and in no time, it would find you.
Thank you for that, but I want you to touch on one important question. How do you handle yourself amidst negativity? Just in a minute.
Thank you very much. So one thing we should all know and accept is that negativity is a part of life. No matter how well you do, there are people who would look for that little negativity amidst all of your goodness and hammer on it. What you need to understand is that you are a human being. You are in the process of becoming better. You have not arrived. And so at whatever point in your life, whatever has not become what you need it to be, do not allow people to make you feel less of yourself because you are not perfect in that field. Just keep working hard.
Just keep working hard. Let me take this. Prayer Clock goes live every Saturday, 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. and I'm the host, and you can log in on Facebook. My handle is Afiba Dansa-Appiah. If you missed this dance episode, kindly go to and then pray along. This has been a very insightful discussion. I want you to meet me again another blessed Saturday. Until then, increase, flourish, and be prepared by God.
Try and do the best you can. Hold on.
Thanks for listening to Every Woman Chat Show. Call or WhatsApp us on 0544